Wowzers, trousers! Don't forget the bloody fork, yeah? Otherwise you won't be able to eat what's in the flask. Guess what's in the flask? massive shout out to Consumer Unit World today. George, top man, sent us the fuse box 14-way with SPD with all the miniature RCBOs today to do today's job. CJR 10, that gets you 10% off the fuse box range. Generally you get it next day. Yeah, they're really good guys and they're really helpful, and they know a bit as well, so go and check them out. I'll leave all the links in the description. Let's go and get James. He's not going to fit in here, is he? Where's James? Where is he? How is he after a weekend? Morning, mate. You can't get in yet. You cannot get in yet because I've cleaned the van out.
Have you?
At the weekend. Oh my God, look. Still rubbish in here from them. Disgusting. There's my little fork. Sorry, mate. Right. Brush them crumbs. They're probably yours anyway.
No.
Right, mate. Today we're going to replace that burnt fuse board. That's actually quite fitting. Look, there it is. We're going back today to change this board. Maybe today we'll get James to strip the old board out, eh? What do you reckon? What do you reckon, James?
Yeah.
It's in a really awkward cupboard.
Yeah,
so I think you should be doing it. Let's go and have a look. Oh, right, here we go. This is the cupboard. As you can see, this is why I'm nominating James to rip this one out. Right, it's very tight. That. So this was the board that started to burn. As you can see, I did a temporary fix. Took the RCD out of there, shuffled the sockets, and managed to get these two on the non-RCD side, so it got them some power back on, and we had to leave the hob disconnected, okay? So we're gonna rip this board out today and replace with a fuse box 14-way with SPD, main switch and RCBOs, and obviously do all the testing as well. So yeah, we'll get James set up. What we're gonna do today is a little bit different. I think we're gonna prove and dead. James can strip out, mark all these up. I'm going to go around and start doing visuals and start doing some testing. That doesn't work. Well, I know on these meters, James, sometimes there's a switch under here. Say if you pull in the main fuse. So operate by a qualified electrical contractor only, yeah? There we go, look. Okay, so that's off now. It's in the off position. We'll put that back so nobody can tamper. And then we will go and prove dead inside. There we go. Right, this is the cover. See it? That's how mounted that is, and that's where the RCD was. This is the buzz bar I had to double up, managed to get it on the screws to hold it, and that's the breakers I had to reuse. These were okay, they were only discoloured, they weren't burnt. One of them was burnt, I couldn't use it. So this is the board. Yeah, so we're going to prove dead now to here. James got the proving unit, let's get on. Right, here we go. James is going to do safe isolation. He's going to check our tester. Point that tester to me so I can see the push down. Okay. Voltage on there and the tester's working. Okay. And I'll go to the board, mate. You can reach in this one, can't you?
Yeah.
So you're going top of the switch, push down. Can we see the tester? Yeah, got no voltage. And do the bottom of the switch, please. Nothing, great. And then come back here, mate, and we just prove the tester. Push it right down.
Yep.
No, it's not indicating on the tester. You got to push it hard. There you go. Yeah, perfect. Lovely, mate. Well done. We're isolated and we are locked off. So we're going to now crack on.
We are.
Right, James is stripping the entire board out, taking all the guts out. Just going to leave the back plate, okay? The complete board. I've marked up what we've got here, garage up to 10, and I've also made a note that there's 2 cables, which I guess is burglar alarm and smokes, which is 2 cables in circuit 5. What I've done is mark them all up, so 1, 2, 3, and I'll do dots And by the time I get here, it's too much, so I do an X, and then that's big enough to write number 10 on. So now this is all marked, we can strip this out. It's slightly recessed in the wall, which is fine. We should be able to rip that out. Hoping we got a bit on these cables. Hopefully we can reuse these tails. Obviously I don't know how these are installed, but we'll have to assume that they've done the right thing and protected them. We might even have to rejig that board today so we get the tails on the left. I've never done it with a fuse box, but it can be done. Which is to make sure we label everything right inside. So we'll now strip this out. James can strip this out. Ready?
Yes.
Are you ready, James? I'm not very happy with them socks, mate, to be honest.
Pretty good.
You should. Andrew bought you some, us, and you could have wore them, and you haven't worn them.
I won the weekend.
Look, they're better, aren't they? Right. So what are you going to do in there first, then, mate?
Unscrew these 3 screws.
Yeah, and take the bar out.
The bar out.
Yeah.
And then do these.
Yeah.
Unclip at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then
Drop them down.
Drop them down. Take them out here.
Yeah.
And then that leaves you just at the top.
The neutral and the CPC, yeah?
Yeah.
And then we'll get the board out.
Yeah.
Lovely, mate. Good job. Right, James has been busy, look. See that? Lucky. That's the colour of the bars, look. That's a nice one. It was just off the main switch. And that was the one that was getting hot. That was obviously what I cut on the day. That's the discoloration, that's heat. James has done a lovely job. He's ripped out for me. So now what we're going to do is get this horrible frame out the wall and get the new board mounted. Hopefully it'll cover because it's bigger. It's big enough. It should cover this gap. Right, board has gone. They fixed this board in, then they did this wall up. That's why it was recessed, because it's not a recessed board. I'm a little bit worried about this one. This is the garage. The arm is cut and taped up there. I can't get it. There's no slack on it. Look. And apparently there's an EV charger hanging off the end of this, so we're going to have to talk about that when we get into it. Luckily there's a bit of length on these. We're now going to make the board up, try and rejig these tails. There's nothing on the tails of any length, so we're going to have to rejig this board so it's left to right. But we're going to slot the board now. We're going to slot the board, back of the board, cut that middle tab out, and then we'll make that whole section a cable entry and then put some grommet strip on it. Well, I can't rejig that board because the neutral wire is too short if I put the main switch on the left, so forget that. What I'm going to do first is drill a hole. I'll just check this, it's plasterboard, so we're going to drill a hole up 4 inch, then hopefully I'm going to be able to see up and see what they've done with these cables. Like the meter is that way, so hopefully I can pull the tails up and get them on the right hand side. At least it will give us an idea of what they've actually done above here. There we go. Right, we've got some cables going that way, that way, that way, and they go through it. Oh, there's a joist here. That's annoying. And what else we got? Another cable there. So we haven't got more, but we've got some of them. Those are mains cables anyway.
Right.
So what are we going to do? I reckon we move the board and then we have to joint the cables here and move them round, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. I think we're going to move this board from here to this side on this wall. Yeah. Nice and flat. We can get in the top. We'll come down a little bit lower, yeah?
Yep.
And put a bit of trunk in, yeah? And then any cables that we can't move from here, we're going to have to joint them and move them, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm used to it, mate.
Yeah.
Well, you see what we're doing? We're pulling the cables out here, from there to here, whatever goes this way, whatever's here, we will put a junction box. We'll have to run them round to here. We're going to bring the board down as low as we can. It's going to be a much nicer height for the client, yeah, somewhere here rather than stuck up there. Right, as you can see, I've managed to get some cables out. Not all of them come this way. That white one does. Look, they've buried it in the coving, trunked it down, and then I take it just runs through the kitchen and underneath and whatever it does, hob or oven. I'm going to pull that out. That trunking will go. We're going to have to put a box up here with din rail, trunk round, and then put our new board here. But at least our tails, this one's long enough, which I'm happy about. Right, we've cut another hole there. I've poked my screwdriver through the ceiling because I can't get any length on this armoured, which does a car charger workshop, which is a bit naughty, but we won't talk about that. Right, I've gone above, I'll show you now. Right, this is the floor. That's where I've poked my screwdriver through. This is right above that fuse board. So there's the nails for that board. So I need to try and drill basically where this carpet is. So we're gonna have to move this, James. We've got to move that, and then we can drill a hole there, get to that armoured. Jeez, wow-woo, wow-woo. Right, that's it, that's the wall, that's the board, that's the burglar alarm. I wonder if that'll pull. No, they blocked it in the wall, didn't they? And then this is our armoured, look. So we can actually now properly gland this. Hold that, mate. I need 2 hands. We can gland this. We can properly gland this now. Because I've just noticed they've changed it to TT out there, which is fine. So there we go. We can put a proper gland on that, gland it into a box, put it under the floor, and then put some twin and earth out of this. And then this earth, we'll have to divorce the earth because they're using the TT for the car charger. This is earthing off the TT, so it'll have to be glanded into a plastic box, and then we won't be able to connect the earth will earth up to the box here, but we won't be able to joint these earths together, yeah, because this would be on the TT earth, yeah. Does that make sense, James?
Yeah.
Good. So look, this is what they've done. They've just done the old cut and shut, look, which is a bit naughty, isn't it?
Should I stop it?
Eh?
Should I end the...
No, it's fine. I won't put it in. I always say that, don't I? And I just end up putting it in. We'll get the editor to edit it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Cameraman to film it, and then the editor to edit it out. But that's what they've done. Look, you can see that. We need to put a gland on this, and then we can extend this cable in an appropriate way. Right, new board is going to go here. I was going to try and get these cables in this wall, but I can't drill up. Guarantee that I'm going to not damage anything, so I'm going to bring them surface in trunk down to the new board here. These ones will get jointed up here, and then the cables will just drop down over. I'll probably put these ones in an accessible joint up here, back of the door, so you can get to them. We'll put some Wagos inside a box or something. There's 2, one's immersion, one's end of the ring, other end of the ring reaches, and then we will. This one will come up in the bottom. Yeah, I'm just going to get a bit trunking in a minute, but... Right, board's mounted, 5 grommets. I was going to come out here, but I'll just glue those. I'll glue those bits back in. At least we can get the tails now to the right place. And we will also drop some trunking down here and get them on top. Right, because the board is just below us, I think the first leg for the upstairs sockets comes to this first single socket. James is just checking it, and if we can rewire one of the legs, we haven't got to put a joint in this leg, which I'll be a lot happier about, to be honest. Okay, so disconnect those then, mate, and then we'll pop the plasterboard box out the wall, and we see if we can tweak the cable. Yeah? If we can, we'll tie one on, and then you can pull it up. Yeah. What are those? Right, as he's only up there, I'm not going to tape it. So, right, go on, mate. There it goes. Got him? Okay, only pull enough to that socket. How much you got? Loads? Shall I have a bit back? Okay. Right. Come down and get your cutters and you can do that socket, mate. So all the other cables have been extended. They're in the Wago boxes up there, and we can screw them from above. The hole I've drilled above, we can see that wood. These ones, I'm going to put in a junction box here. Probably do it on this back wall here. Nice plastic box rather than the ceramic. So, and then this will just be the ring downstairs, and then at least these are accessible because it's kitchen, high load. They'll be up there, and then they can be accessible, and I'll put a label on there. And it can be checked at, you know, for the date or whatever. But that's all our cables over now. We then have to get our trunk in, get them in, drop them in, and then this is 2 days because we'll have to do some initial testing today and then come back tomorrow and finish off the testing. It's going to be all right, James, don't worry. We'll get some lunch in a minute, James. Right, there's my accessible joint box, okay? That's 2 ends of the ring, kitchen ring, I just want it accessible. So you give me the box lid now, mate. Get box lid on there. We can then repair these patches and then we can go and get some friggin' food. Right, this is our 6mm, which we're going to joint. Goes on with this 6mm that goes down to the workshop, garage, whatever. We're going to get a box, but I need a box big enough. If not, I'll have to cut this section out and repair it. James has done me socket, and it looks absolutely bloody lovely, James. Yeah, beautiful, mate. Screw that back. Yeah. Sweet as. Right, I've had a bite to eat. I've got some trunk in. What I'm going to do is put a piece all the way across the top and then tee it up to the ceiling. Drop these in, we can repair all the patches, and then I can make the fuse board off and we'll slot the plastic. We'll slot the plastic on the trunk and then we can just go through all these fire grommets. Right, see what we're doing. Got our trunking in. I've left this for the strength. We have slotted the trunk in, left all the fire grommets in place. All the cables are running. I will neaten these up, but obviously I've got to work with the lengths I've got. I'll show you in a minute. Right, they're all dressed in. All in the relevant holes. That'll get lidded. This will get patched. I can now make these off and then we'll lid this, make these off, do some end to ends. Hopefully we've got some rings here, James. Well, we've got to get this one up here quickly. He butts into the existing trunk in, up and over. Right, there we go, all in the relevant holes. Trunk in's lidded, nice and straight. Got just a little bit there. But yeah, there we go. It's a bit neater, isn't it? I will in a minute, yeah. I will in a minute. I'll do it now, yeah. Put those back pieces back in. Got my tails in, tail clamps. I hate solid tails. Never fit these anymore, but I've got no choice on this one. Love the tail clamp. They're in perfect. We're going to make these off, put all my RCBOs in, get all the leads up, and then make these off. I've got my patches back in. Got all my RCBOs in. I've had to do it 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, just for spacing. Heat, doesn't matter. If someone wants to add one in there, they can. There, anywhere, it doesn't matter. I've gone in load from the switch. We're now going to get these cables made off. Relevant breakers. Get the bus bar in. Use our little mirror to make sure we get it in. Not like the other board that was here. And then we can come back tomorrow. I've got all my ends in. Just got to put all my CPCs away now. Main earth. Do some live testing, do these RCDs, and then come back tomorrow and finish testing, basically. Nothing. Well, there we go. All in. Neat and tidy. We're just going to put the bus bar cover on, liven up, and then I've got to do one joint under the floor for this garage. And then we are out of here for today. Right, we got some lights on, lovely. It's about 4 o'clock. There's a cupboard. This is my only solution. I pulled a 6mm to meet a 6mm, and I'm gonna have to put a box, probably that, under the floor. Put on my test sheets that is a joint box under the floor. I am using these beasts. Look, maintenance free. Beasts rated at like 45 amps. But that's my only solution for this, unfortunately. It will be on the test sheet though. Back day 2, James is labelling up. I'm trying out this new beast. Look, Milwaukee sent me. Legends. It's like a little transformer on that battery, look. Very nice. Right, magnetic, so it can stick and swivel. Look at that. That's awesome. Anyway, I've got the cover off. I'm now going to start doing some testing that we didn't get done yesterday. Right, I can tell that the paint has been in. I filled the holes. I filled that. I haven't got any plasterboard for that, so the client will have to just dot and dab a bit of plasterboard back on there. I'm not going to fill that one, but I've done those holes at least. James is now doing me a label to put on that box up there, which is the accessible joint box for the downstairs sockets. It's out now, but yeah, it's new. Look, I didn't even know that. Look, a hidden USB charger. Excellent for young lads that are always on their mobile phones. They can charge them up at work on the go. Right, what we're doing now, all the scrap bit of testing and that we did yesterday, we're putting it onto the iPad now. James is doing some earth loops at some certain things, like oven's got 2 supplies, so we've got to do those. The garage was on a TT, which was what, 31.96. That was the TT reading, so it's within, which is good. Anything under 200 ohms is classed as stable, but obviously you want to get that as low as you can. We've got to do immersion, earth loop, and a few other bits. We're just testing. We just traced out that cable. It goes under there, and it's in a box under there doing nothing. I think they used to have an electric hob. Now it's full gas with electric oven, so that does the oven, and the hob is under there safe. So I'll leave it in the board, but we'll leave it off. Even if it gets turned on, it doesn't matter. So we'll just put a note on the test sheet that it's underneath the plinth. Right, there we go. We're all done. Labelled. All labelled. That is actually under the plinth, so we've left it. What's left of oven. Everything's labelled and on. Ceiling's repaired. Now we're going to go and do the doorbell, which we couldn't do the other day. We just come to a screw fix. Picked up some bits. Shout out to Jordan Artisan BG. That fits in there. We're going to wire that transformer for the Google doorbell. So the client's had a new door fitted here, look. So they just ripped the doorbell off, which was here. So it's the only way I've been able to do it is chisel him in, put that behind, and then I'll have to just make this good with some sand and cement. Luckily it's one of mine, look. It's alright, so we're now to mount. So I rewired this. We now got to mount the bell transformer here. That's the cable that goes out to the doorbell. Transformer cable off the lighting circuit in here somewhere, and then put the box and the 24-volt transformer here. Good old BG transformer is faulty. I'm not getting any output, and the winding is getting so hot, super hot. So that'll be going back. We'll have to get another one.